stream. I'm gonna also double check on the
Yeah, I don't
Facebook.
know what you can put on. You could put. I don't know.
This
This
is
man
gonna be an
doesn't. Yeah,
interesting.
online business coach.
The
I've been
man.
speaking a lot. We're
Oh,
doing a lot of
let me just
activity.
see if we are live. Oh, it's saying that we are
Thought-provoking
live, but
insights, rare, unique perspective challenges. Can you hear me? It's got off the screen a little bit.
yeah, I can still hear you, but I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, we are live. Hello, hello, everybody. We are live.
Hang on,
It's
bear.
happy Thursday. Hopefully, Richard can still find me. Today, guys, is gonna be an exciting day. I have a special guest today. It's been
I
a
heard her
long
there.
overdue in terms of meeting together. But Richard is awake today. From
I can hear you.
UK. I have an honor to interview him. He has a podcast. He's gonna share about his journey in becoming an online business coach. And also like inspire us today. Today we're gonna have a conversation with Richard. Hello, Richard.
Hey, 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 hey.
How is
Thank you
it
for having me here,
going?
Mary. Yeah, it's a good day for a good day. I've had a swim, Water's very therapeutic for me, so I'm feeling good, Mary. How about
I
you?
love that. I love that. Well, me, I just, relaxing and chilling.
Now, I like your pattern. You're figuring it out.
You know?
You're figuring it out. You're ahead. For sure, for
Not
sure.
so much about swimming because I don't know how to swim, so I did not do that, Richard.
Find what you like, Mary. Don't or jump in the deep end. You'll find out you can swim quick.
No, I don't think so. That's not a good idea.
Jump in that deep end, Mary. You'll come back telling me, boy, I swam from left to left.
Okay, maybe in the future I will try that, but not right now. In the future, in the future. So tell us, Richard, what is the exciting things that you've been doing? Like, what made you involve yourself in the online space? Like before the online space, what were you doing?
That's a very good question. So yeah, before the online space, I had before the pandemic, I would say I had
Mhm.
two jobs predominantly, and then yeah, pandemic came and zonked me out of them two jobs, unfortunately.
Mhm.
But I say fortunately because sometimes it can be like it revealed a greater truth. Tony Robbins
Mhm.
one time said, how was the worst thing that happened to you actually one of the best things that's happened to you? And
Mhm.
looking from that perspective and how my life has turned out since then, yeah, it's been yeah, it's been amazing to be fair.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. And you are right. The pandemic has been a blessing. Obviously it is and it's an unfortunate event, but it has been a blessing for the people to kind of like open their eyes, like, oh wow, there's a different possibilities out there, especially the online space that become a lot of possibilities for a lot of people. And that's the same thing as me too. I used to be a preschool teacher and I obviously lost my job during that pandemic. And now that opened my eyes, like, oh wow, there's other possibilities. Like, oh, I could actually learn different talents because before I was already set in stone. Like I wanted to become a teacher. That's all I wanted. I'm going to be a teacher. I teach kids. That's something I love. And that's all I thought that I was going to do when pandemic hits. Like, oh wow, now I don't have a job. Not what to do now? What to do now?
Yeah, we've never been through anything like that. And obviously
Mm-hmm.
now with globalization, it's no longer when something happens to one country, it doesn't affect,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just us going through, like the whole world went
Mm-hmm.
through like that. But yeah, I was like you, I thought like anything which I do, I try to be the like the best to a perspective, like the best version of me, like be the
Mm-hmm.
best, be the rest, or be the best of all time. I never thought I they say maybe they say what a job is the price to pay you for like forgetting your dreams. Have you ever heard of that quote or something like that?
No.
So yeah, I never even like when I was there, I never even imagined, like I didn't pray for this. When people like I pray for, there's not one time I was like, "Yo, God, I'm praying. I'm gonna be a digital marketer one day." Like, you know what? I mean?
I did
I
not
never once sat down in the living room and prayed for this. So
Yeah.
yeah, serendipity is beautiful. It's beautiful. We're here
Yes, it
now.
is definitely. It is definitely like it's definitely something that you never thought you will become. Like, for me, going on the social, I did have social media before, right? Before everything else, like just for fun, like just to share like photos, pics, but nothing that I ever thought like, oh wow, social media is something that I would use to do something, you know, like to earn money or to do something else, like, you know, to impact people. How is that for you now? How do you view social media now than before?
Yeah, that's what was interesting to me because now I'm at home and everyone's not going outside, so I couldn't do what I was doing.
Mm,
I'm looking at some people and it's like the pandemic hasn't even affected them. They're enjoying being
yeah.
inside, right? And it's not because they've got a segue. It's
Mm,
because they're freaking earning money, right?
yeah.
And they're very being inside. So I'm there like, I've got to start researching. And
Mm,
I do have some background in customer service. I've worked for places like ASOS, so I've got that skill through going through that process, and I come across affiliate marketing, and I'm very glad I walked through that door.
mhm,
Because, one thing leads to another.
mhm, mhm. So you started affiliate marketing as your starting point, I guess, in the online space.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That
and
was my
how
journey.
was that experience for you at the very beginning? Like, what was the feeling when you started that affiliate marketing business?
Oh gosh. I feel like the easiest thing I think I done was to do it. I think the hardest thing is to like believe you can do it. We're
Mm-hmm.
we're all unique, and obviously that needs to be explored for the better reason. But sometimes you walk into places you might think, hang on, like, is this for me? Can this happen for
Mm-hmm.
me? And yeah, so to really like cement my belief was a challenge in the beginning. Like we've always had work ethic. Well, I'm used to change and adapting to change because I'm born in the motherland, but I've been here since
Yeah.
6 years old. So I know about
Oh, wow.
change, but to see all this stuff happening and to be in that room and to believe it can happen to me, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was difficult in the beginning. And then now I've got to like stare nakedly at my own inadequacies because I've been failing short, and whatever was working, it's not even working anymore, but it's just not working in
Mm-hmm.
this season. Like the times have changed, Mary.
Correct.
We've lived in a forest, we've lived in a jungle, we've lived in a
Mm-hmm.
freaking village, we've lived in a town, and now we live on the freaking internet.
In the
Yeah,
internet,
we
that's
live
right.
on
We
the
have
internet
changed.
right now. So
Exactly. A lot of thing has changed, you know, has developed over time. But you said you had that you overcome it, like, you know, that believing whether you could do it, right? But what was that breaking point? Like when that happened? Like it was there like a situation that happened that made you feel like, oh wow, now I believe in it? Or was there a result that made you like, oh wow, this is possible for me?
yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, that breaking point and breakthrough, you've you I think my yeah, I would say my breakthrough in the beginning, sometimes you have to lean into your habits, right? Like I would say
Mhm.
first you create your habits and then your habits create you because there's gonna be days where the grind feels endless. There's gonna be days where the progress feels invisible. Mary,
Mhm.
you're going to have heavy doubts in these things, but because we started installing habits, I just kept doing what I needed to do. And when you're focusing on the script, it's no longer a matter of if, it's when. And obviously, yeah, when came sooner or later, and then when came later or sooner. And yeah, we just kept sticking to that script. And that was my breakthrough, realizing like, hang on a minute, anyone can bake a cake. If you follow
Yeah.
the freaking instructions, if you follow the
True.
script, like anyone can bake a cake. So I was thinking, all right, cool. I'm just gonna look at myself like I'm a human, right?
Mhm.
Oh, average in the sense of from a human perspective, but I'm
Mhm.
built to learn. I'm built to uh, develop. And now, if you believe you can put time and energy into something and you can get better, like if you believe that,
Mhm.
then now how you spend your time becomes a spiritual question. I became obsessed with upgrading my life, and that was my breaking. That was my breakthrough.
I love that.
I
I
was
like that. Upgrading your life. That's true. Sometimes we forget, right? The progress is where we actually need to focus rather
like,
than the results. And I think a lot of people not a lot, but I think the people I met sometimes they forget, you forget because of course we want the results at the beginning. I wish everybody will just have the cake, just like that. Unfortunately, we can't. And just like you said, everybody can follow a
Yes.
recipe, but not the cake. Like some will have good cake right away, and some people would like, even me, I follow the recipe, but the cake is not good.
You know, absolutely. And this is the truth that people need to see, right? You know, they think success, they've seen some Instagram pictures, Mary, and they think but that's the beautiful cake. They
Yeah,
think that's what it is. But you know, it's not that. Success is the late nights, it's the empty coffee mugs, it's the
yeah,
freaking baggy eyes.
yeah.
But you know, they don't want to see that on Instagram. So
The Instagram, hey guys, AI, it can fool you.
uh, yeah, some of the stuff you've been making is amazing.
Yeah. You see?
Amazing.
I become
Yeah.
skinny already. I didn't have to work out.
The lighting is perfect as well. You know,
Yes.
sometimes you gotta get ring light and do that. Yeah, your
Yes.
AI pictures, the lighting perfect.
Correct, correct. So I love that. So like in terms of right now, like you are right now as a business coach, right? As an online coach. What is it that you teach people right now? Like how are you helping them in the online space?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I help people who have overstayed too long in places that have passed
Mm-hmm.
the expiry date
Mm-hmm.
gain abundance. If you've got somewhere to be, then I'm someone you may need to meet along the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And now with these assets in the digital economy, I'm no longer just like investing all my hope into a job, right? I can elevate careers, freedom,
Mm-hmm.
and success without feeling guilty at arriving at a better version of myself. And I want to allow the opportunity for people to be the best version of themselves as well without feeling guilty. You do deserve abundance,
Mm-hmm.
right? You do deserve to expand. You do deserve to be fulfilled and to experience a life that can truly reward you for your ideals. So I
Mm-hmm.
hope that what I'm doing with my coaching, with my abundance maker, which is my signature, as well as stuff which I offer in the leading in the digital marketing space, I feel like it can help ordinary people do extraordinary things. So and
I
it's good
love
to
that. I
be.
love that. Yeah, because sometimes when we want like, like when thinking about online space, I know people wanted like business and stuff like that, but majority of us ordinary, like everybody's ordinary, everybody's human. But sometimes we think about just business as like income and stuff like that. But actually the journey to actually becoming a business owner, right? Or whatever it is that we want to do online, it comes to like actually developing yourself. Like there's so much more that you learn about yourself that you're like, whoa, for me to go to that level, I have to take out all those baggage, all those trauma, have to heal so many things, right? And
Oh,
that's
you're so
that's what the journey online have taught me, like it taught me more than I thought, like, oh, maybe just going online, I just want to make side hustle, just make like extra dollar here and there. But now it's only like, wow, there's so many things that I have to heal.
no, absolutely. I see what you're saying. It's like you know, when you have a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset, I say that my information doesn't change, but
Mm-hmm.
it does expand, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because you're in your evolving, your unevolved version of yourself. Every time you've got to like asking them questions, right?
Correct.
Tony Robbins often said the quality of question that you ask determines the quality of life. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
asking, who do I need to become to achieve this? What kind of person, like, how does a person who achieves this behaves like? You know, when you start to ask certain questions, you're going to get different answers. You're going to get different outcomes. You're going to
Yeah.
go on a completely different journey. And you might have to, you know, a part of you might have to die so the best part of you can resurrect. And
Yes.
we're going to talk about that resurrection. You
Yes.
best believe we're going to talk about that resurrection for a long time. If you get this thing called life right once, you can rectify 100 failures. So
Correct.
play to
It's about the letting go of the old. Uh, and for me, like, let me ask you. So you work with people, in terms of resurrecting them, like having their old, maybe their new identity, or maybe it's their real identity that just been hidden, right? It just hasn't come out. What was the one thing that you believe was holding back a lot of people in letting go of
yeah,
their old stuff?
Yeah, that is a good question. I think a lot of people are playing a lot of people are playing the game of not to get hurt instead of playing to win. And in doing so, I believe they've been self-destructing
Mm-hmm.
themselves. They've been, the starting line is here and they don't even want to compete. Maybe because now when you're doing something like business or sports or wherever
Mm-hmm.
you actually now have feedback as far as whether you're doing something or not doing something, where if you work like wherever you can clock in, clock out, it doesn't matter if you work good or bad, you're still gonna get that paycheck. But here you get feedback, it's the real world university. And yeah, I think at times when we get into these situations, Mary, everyone says they want something real. So you meet real people with real goals, real commitments, and yeah, it is it holds people back because their identity is tied to all of these like malleable states, and I am the best person at doing this, I'm the best.
Yes.
And now when that doesn't happen, the whole world collapses. And maybe they're scared of that happening again, or maybe they're scared of that period. So yeah, that holds them back, Mary, a lot.
This
The
whole
identity
enhancing
crisis.
back that fear of getting hurt. And I think that's true. I think as human, that's part of us, right? Is to protect ourselves. Like, we're always in that survival mode. So we feel like, oh, I need to survive. I need to protect myself. Like, who is this guy to tell me that I am all my life is wrong, right? But
uh,
sometimes we need to have that wake up call. We need to have that somebody to give us that wake up call. Sometimes you just need to find that mentor, that coach, right? That you could open up yourself, right? And in letting go of that old self, you will discover like you will feel lighter, and then you will feel like, oh wow, I never thought that I could be able to get to this level, it doesn't have to be in business itself, but it's just general in yourself. I think the small wins, sometimes we don't really see that as a win, sometimes. Have you seen that with a lot of people that you work with right now?
no, you're very on to something. I think exposure and environment has been critical to success. There's been that analogy where if you place a goldfish in a bowl, it will only grow to its environment. But if you take that goldfish and put it out in a pond, it's going to grow bigger. So maybe some people, they're not even scared of success. They're scared that if I do this, I'm gonna have to do this again and again. And now someone might say this, someone might say that. So they're scared of success. They're scared of being the best version of themselves. And like I said, now you're not playing to win. You're playing not to get hurt. And yeah, I'm not with that. If you're on that, that's not for me personally. I don't make bad. Not gonna say bad people, but I
Mhm.
make good people great people. And if you're lacking in confidence, then we've got the community. You can
Mm,
get coaching, and you might have to lean into someone else's confidence before
mm.
yours kicks in. Right? We
Correct,
ask for
correct.
help. What did Confucius say? I love that guys and the Eastern philosophies. All them guys
Mhm,
are so good. Confucius, Lao Tzu. He says, ask for help not because you are weak. You ask for help because you want to remain strong.
mhm,
Like go get that coach, right? Go get that coach. You can turn decades
mhm.
into days. That's what coaches are going
Yeah.
to help you do. They're like a flipping fairy fairy godmother, right? But they can't turn a pumpkin into a carriage. Like, don't be silly. Don't be
Correct, correct.
silly.
Correct. And I think that's good. Yeah, sometimes you need to ask that question, and like, don't be scared to ask question. But I think we've been taught sometimes in so many things, like if you ask question, you might sound stupid. Like we always have that notion about like what people might say about us. And I think that's what's like in the online space, and that's why a lot of people gets confused. Like, like they're just gonna stay confused for the rest of the whole time. But then part of them, they still want to get that success, but they're just like, oh, I don't want to ask the question. I don't want to get the help, because then they might think, oh, they might get me to do something else, Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I see sometimes.
Yeah, Confucius said another good quote, which is
Mm.
like, the one who asks a question is a fool for a second, but the one who doesn't ask a question is a fool for life. And I
Correct.
thought that blew my mind, Mary,
That is
because
very true.
like everyone else, I was scared sometimes to ask a question, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I've got all these notes down. I'm thinking, yeah, like I need to get clarity because having
Mm-hmm.
clarity is going to tell you what matters and what don't. And when I heard him say that, I was like, a second.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying, Mary, that's not too bad. We get 24 hours in a day. Being a fool for a second, that's not too bad.
No.
Then let's weigh it up against the other one. For life,
For life, for life.
a life sentence for fool me.
Mm.
I said, nah,
No, no,
Confucius, I'm
no.
gonna take the first one.
Take the first one. Take the first one.
Yeah,
Just for
I'm gonna
seconds,
take the first.
not for
No,
life.
not for life. That's too long, Mary. God
Correct. That's too
damn.
long. So for you, in terms of your coaching, is there a specific way, like let's say if somebody like wanted to, like let's say if I wanted to come to you as a coach, like somebody who is confused out there, like maybe they've been doing this online thing for so many years, blah blah blah, blah, and they're scared, like, but they still wanted to find that success. How are you going to take them from that person who is so confused to finally somebody like, oh, hey, I could see myself having this success?
No, that's an interesting question. So, like I said, I help people who want to like gain their independence back, and I think the best way to keep the faith is to have a plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be unstoppable, if you want to get back to being unstoppable, then you can't rely on your mood. You need a mission. And
Mm-hmm.
it just happens as so that, the missions that we're attached to and a part of and want to impact, not only are we making money online, but through that process, we become better versions of ourselves. We become better parents, we become better people, become better business operators, we become better at speaking and communicating with people, right? We can be the media at any given point. And that's not because we went to some specific, it's simply because we chose to be the best versions of us through the process. So, there's that direct outlays, of course, with coaching, and if you're coachable, then you understand that even the greatest people, the greatest athletes that you see, even though they're the best, they turn up every week. They turn up every week for
Mm-hmm.
freaking training, and they're the best. They get paid millions, right? But they
Mm-hmm.
still turn up every week. So yeah, with my coaching, one of the slogans is "Turn up, trying to go." Turn
Mm-hmm.
up, trying to go. You gotta turn up, right? Like knowledge is great, but implementation is where you really push them needles. So take it, apply it, refine it, reassess, reset, go. And when you have direct outlays, I feel like with the way that we teach, it's not only that you'll get like the transformation, not only now you'll be working from vision, not pressure, you'll get like an anointing. Like I know I'm gonna change your life. Not only
Mm-hmm.
make money, I know you're gonna go back to your household, your relationship, your situationship, and something's gonna it's gonna be different, And you're gonna glow a bit different. You're gonna walk with a different type of step, and wherever you go from there, I'm just happy that I was able to contribute. Did that answer the question? I think
Okay,
that's
so
straight off the
it help you helping them to like transform, like having that plan, to transform from, I guess, where they want to be, right?
Yeah, my thing's all about abundance, and if
Mhm.
abundance is your birthright, then confusion can't be your friend.
Correct, correct.
Right. So I want a silver line, the clouds, and I want direct outlays for you to be the best version of you. Because if you look at it like this, Barry, right, for what
Mm-hmm.
people who know basketball, understand sport lingo,
Mm-hmm.
you might pick up what I'm putting down. Kobe Bryant was going through some things, and people booing, people don't support, whatever, right? But boos don't make dunks, all right? People can boo, but that doesn't make dunks. So
Mm-hmm.
my thing is what I learned is booze don't make dunks either. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, booze don't stop dunks, but they don't make dunks. So my situation is with abundance, you have to become so good. You have to become so good that you can't be ignored, or you have to become so good at what you're freaking doing. So you can
Mm-hmm.
make dunks regardless. They might laugh, you work a little bit harder. Now
Mm-hmm.
everyone knows. Now everyone wants to be around your energy, right?
Correct.
Now
Correct.
you're the talk of the town. Like, how good do you want to get? Like, put in that sweat equity, put in that sweat equity, get back up on that horse where that threw you off. Maybe it's time to kickstart your mission right now.
Correct.
I want to meet you where you are. I want to meet you where you are.
I love
So
that.
I,
I love that. Yeah. That's really good. Yeah. Sometimes you need to be good. You're very good in yourself, like believing in that the thing that you're good at. And then your energy will just increase and you attract the people, that not just the
yes.
people, that's just you attract things to you that's meant for
skill
you.
acquisition.
Mhm.
Skill acquisition. This is what this game's about. You know, when
Mhm.
you come in the game and you've recently learned AI, right?
Mhm.
It's a game of skill acquisition. Like for you guys who've played video games, you understand you get better, you get
Mhm.
attributes that increase. When you increase, you can execute. You can
Mhm.
become someone that people can rely on. You become valuable, right? How many times have you been at your workplace and you've stood there, you're like, hang on, we turn up at the same time. How comes my man is getting paid like 30, 40 more thousand than me? Is it because
Yeah.
he has shoes? When I
No.
walked in the building with shoes as well, it can't be freaking shoes, can it? Is he wearing a top? Hang on, I'm wearing a top too. So
Yeah.
it comes down to, he's bringing more value
More
to the
value.
company. He's bringing,
Mhm.
yeah, you get it. He's
Yeah.
bringing more value to the company, to the establishment, to the
Correct.
flipping franchise. So yeah, understand
All
it's a game of
about
skill
the
acquisition.
skills, because that's what I always say. I was talking to somebody earlier. I said it's the skills. It's not about like it's not about like it doesn't matter what's the business, what's the job is. As long you have that skill that's valuable, you can always restart. Somebody will
Right,
always give you something, because you got that value, that skills. It will never disappear. Like
right there.
all about the skill acquisition, as you just said. If you scale up, you level up.
Yeah, and that's where it's about. That new level is going to give you a new identity, a new
Yeah.
character, a new standard. And it's like now what you're saying, even if you lose, even if it feels like you failed numerous times, even if it feels like you've lost everything that meant so much to you, you keep on keeping on, right? And it's because you're not tired from settling for less. The only time you've been exhausted is because you were building your dreams. You're engaging with
Mhm.
more areas you're engaging with areas that give you more energy than it takes away, and that's what we focus on in the my abundance maker.
Correct. Abundance and clarity. That's something that is very important in business, right? That's what we want to teach people, that you need to have clarity and also like develop yourself. You have to self-develop the development in yourself, right? Because as you go through the every challenges, you have to see the challenges as a growth, like as a level, as a way for you to level up. Like you have to accept the challenge to level up. There's only two ways, right? If you don't accept the challenge, then you choose to not level up. And therefore it's the same result all the time, right? It's gonna be stagnant. I know that because every time we
Yeah,
have a challenge and you say, yeah, no, thank you, I'll just stay the same here, right?
yeah,
And that's what happened. That's what they always say, in the comfort zone, there is no growth, right? It's also always the uncomfortable zone where you see the growth. I think I was reading somebody said, only discomfort should be your friend. When every time
comfort
you
should be.
feel discomfort, that should be a signal for yourself. It's time to level up. So if you
When it
ignore
comes to this growth
discomfort, yeah.
and business, I definitely agree with that. I still have a thin line sometimes with a lot of this stuff because a lot of pain ain't good for the mind, ain't good for the body. So I don't know
Mhm.
why it would be good for the soul. But I
Mhm.
understand that, in reverence to what we're saying,
Mhm.
on this level, you've got to find out how can you be okay with not being okay, because
Mhm.
there's gonna be worse times before they're your best times. So how long
Correct.
can you hold your breath underwater?
Not very long. Just kidding. In the real life, not very long. In the affection, yeah, yes, I could probably hold. But in real life, not very long in water.
You're funny. But the people will understand what we're saying. It's a game of endurance. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Like the harvest is already being guaranteed, right? Now you just have to stick to your script.
So right now, so you have your online business coach, you're able to help people do the transformation, right? So what is your vision now in the next, I guess, 1 year or 5 years from now?
That's another good question. In 5 years, multi six-figure business owner,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able, once more stuff has been put into place. Obviously, right now, I want to do the podcast like once I bring on a guest like once every season. So I'll probably pick up more activity into that once I can handle it, right?
Okay.
But I don't like to grow outside my comfort zone. But in the next 5 years, I hope to have spoken into at least 10 more countries and yeah, just taking this business to a whole other level, impacting 300 people,
Mhm.
right? Helping them make their sales online, helping them become six-figure business owners. I want to impact at least 300 people through what we're doing right now with digital marketing because I
Mhm.
pivoted in 2020, right at the end, right?
Okay.
With affiliate marketing, I pivoted. So I want to impact now 300 people with digital
I'm gonna
marketing. I
okay.
want my podcast to go to another level. I want to speak in multiple countries. And who knows, after I sort out everything and everything's patterned, maybe I'll find love after that.
Oh wow, wow. Love in 5 years. Okay, Richard. I will follow that. I will follow that. That's a good vision, right? Impacting people. I love that. Traveling the world, increasing your podcast. Just so you mentioned your podcast, what is your podcast about?
Yeah, good question. So my podcast is Levels with Value. Levels with Value Pod is the handle. We're
Mhm.
called Levels with Value, and I bring on people to introduce. I introduce people to like people and ideas which I think are gonna be transformative to helping people like jump out the matrix and
Mhm.
gain the skills necessary so they can level up and execute or to be able to navigate in this world which at times in reality, can consume a lot of your love, your hope, and your energy. So I want people to be able to not only be empowered, right, but to be able to go and take that and do something amazing with it. Like if you don't want normal, you want magic, then yeah, find me
I love that. So
on the
okay,
land.
so where can we find this podcast in YouTube or Spotify or where's the podcast?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It should be on the streaming platforms. My hosting people, Buzzsprout, they put it on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple. It
Okay.
should be on there too. But if it's not, it's always gonna. If you want a video person, if you want a video, right? If you're a video person, a visual learner, you can always grab it on YouTube. But everywhere else, if you can find
It
it,
should also in other streaming stuff like Spotify and that's all I know is Spotify.
yeah. If you can find it, it's probably on there for sure. It should be like I remember them stuff like
All right, you
the
could always
Spotify.
drop the YouTube too, just so that people could follow also the podcast and you just get like finding guests. Like what kind of guests do you bring onto your podcast? Like so that if people want to know, maybe they want to be part of your podcast in the future.
Good question. So I bring on people who have got skills in business predominantly, right? So I've had Katrina, who was like she's like an Instagram angel. We had Amanda Jabel, who's just amazing, from the quantum level and the neurology as well as the coaching standpoint. When I really started going into gym, that was that stage and I thought it was fitting not only for me, like I enjoy it's got to be some conversations that I like as well. So you're
Mhm.
doing something interesting. It could be business, it could be your fitness coaching. It could be as far as like I don't know, it could be even whistleblowers, right? On interesting
Oh,
subjects that I
okay,
like. So
interesting.
if you're doing something, your gift will make room for you. If you've got a story
Mhm.
or you've got skills and yeah, we can definitely work something out. We
Oh,
can
I love
definitely
that.
work
So people who have skills. So guys, if you have skills, make sure to message Richard to be part of his podcast.
something.
So
Love that.
Richard, so you said you want to impact 300 people in the next 5 years in digital marketing, right? Just to pivot a little back to digital marketing. Like, why do you think right now in 2025, like a lot of people would say, oh, it's this thing is just so like it's too much people already in it, or so like lots of people already doing the digital marketing, it's saturated, like I don't think it's working for me. Some people said it didn't even work for me at all, right? Why do you think this 2025 digital marketing is still something that you would suggest people to start with?
That's a great question. It's a great question. Obviously, everyone's timeline is different, you know.
Mhm.
We're all going out at this, we're all going out one way or another. But in the meantime,
Mhm.
how do you want to define your life? So first things first, like throw your heart over the bar and your body should follow. Why this digital marketing and I think it's the times have changed, right? We've gone from we're no longer in the industrial age, guys, right? So it's time to catch up, speed past, or get left in the dust. I was looking like exiled, right? And now your boy's back in the game. So, and this is because of the
Mhm.
digital economy. And I'm seeing so many people who've lost their independence, stayed too long in places that have passed the expiry date, and it's time to get back in the game, get
Mhm.
out of the gap, and get into the game. So yeah, with digital marketing is it's usually a low or lower or affordable entry cost, and the
Mhm.
profit margins are like they're through the
Mhm.
roof. So
That's true.
you don't need particular skills or a background or to be like you can as long as you've got Wi-Fi or internet, and we're living on the internet right now,
Mhm.
you can change your life. Like you're gonna look back on it, and this is our version of like the California gold rush, right? So why would you not try it, right? If life means something to you, if you've got a
Mhm.
passion, right? If you woke up one day and you had a dream, if you looked into your mirror and you you saw a fire around you, right? A
Mhm.
glow, a flux, like why would you not play
Mhm.
to win? And I think the digital economy is an asset which can really
Mhm.
allow people and reward them for their true ideals. So try it.
That's true. That's true. It is definitely a game changer, right? The digital space, it has given a lot of things for a lot of people, right? To express themselves, right? So tell me, I know you love my AI stuff. What is your take on the AI revolution right now?
Oh wow. So with AI in general, you know, I think if you don't learn about it, you're going to be left behind because there's only 24 hours, right? And some
Mhm.
people are utilizing it in a way which is helping them save time, and they're still being effective and efficient. So,
Correct.
you know, when you have a growth mindset, you understand that again, it's a game of skill acquisition. You'd rather know about it so you can keep up with it. So, even if you don't use it at all, I'd still take time every now and again to try use something or even try Chat GPT and just
Mhm.
understand what's happening and where we've gone from like a horse and buggy to like cars and electric
Mhm.
cars in like 100 years. So
Mhm.
things are moving very fast. I'm all up for it helping us. Like we're already smart, right? We're already smart, so we just
Mhm.
need it to help us, like not extract, like unfold our smartness in a way where we can build collaborative, driven relationships. We need more unity, not more divide and conquer. And I hope it can
Mhm.
fill the void and not land in the hands where it's it's
For sure, yeah.
misused. You know.
That's why,
So
yeah,
that's
that's why
that's
the
my
AI has
standpoint.
to land on people who are good. So if you're good, you should learn about AI. It's not to take over, it's just to help you elevate a little bit more, right? And just like you said, it also saved time for a lot of people. Like for me as a mom, that's why I use my AI tools, right? I'm pretty sure you guys have seen. I use my AI tools to save time, right? So I could be able to like my AI gives create my contents, it do a lot of things for me, right? And now I could have more time with my son, right? I could have more time cleaning the house.
It's so good. I've ChatGPT, I've tried that. I
Yeah,
was using DeepSeek the other day with one of my team members, and I
yeah,
showed them how to use DeepSeek. So yeah, but it comes down now to like if you've been doing, you're developing like how you're saying, and the importance you're putting onto that, you'll be
yeah.
able to ask certain questions, right? Because
Mhm.
AI, it can only produce to the level of what you can produce. So
Correct.
if you've not really been doing that work and you're thinking AI is gonna
No.
cover
Yeah.
your back, it's not. If you think you're gonna put on a suit and walk in the building, and sooner or later you You know them guys, they've got no substance, but you think because you put on a suit, you're gonna come in here, it's gonna be that sooner or later you're gonna get caught out. So just yeah, it ain't
Exactly.
a shortcut, it's a smart cut. Still put in the work, man.
Exactly. You still have to put in the
Best
work.
version.
It is a tool, right? It's a tool,
Mm.
not a replacement. For
Oh,
sure.
that's it.
Hashtag,
That's it.
hashtag. Put that a
Yeah,
hashtag.
it's a
Guys,
tool,
put
not
us
a
in the
replacement.
hashtag if you're watching.
That's that's it right there. It's a tool, not a replacement.
So
Yeah, that's the
yes,
quote.
I'm thankful for all this knowledge and nuggets that you share with us. So if there are people, the people listening to us right now in the live, or maybe later they're gonna see it in replay, right? Because maybe it's late somewhere else in the world. What is this something that you want to advise them if they are out there in the other side of the screen? They're wondering to themselves like, yeah, I really want to be successful. I want to be able to do online stuff, right? But I just feel like maybe it's not for me, or maybe I'm not good enough. What is something that you could advise them?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. First, I would say, like, everyone's unique and that needs to be explored. If you're in my community, in social pivot point, you hear me say that so much more than often. And it's a game of just walking through doors, right? I mean, you're here and you've got to walk through that door to find out if it's for you or it's not for you. If you're more interested in something, chances are you're going to be more engaged. But if you've walked down the wrong road, if you've ever driven a car down the wrong road, it doesn't take you 50 years to realize that you've gone down the wrong road. So you can just turn around, go back up and walk through another door. So walk in
Mhm.
and out of as many doors as you need to until you find that what's for you, and so you can create that utopia and change that lifestyle and that legacy for you and your family, and most importantly, for you, you really get to see what you're made of. What do you believe? Like, who do you want to become? You now really get to answer that question. And, and there's nothing more amazing than this mission. If you know your why, your how will turn up. So I don't know if you're looking at this like, I don't know, this is me, this is for me. Figure out your why. Once you
Mhm.
figure that, the rest will come to you.
The rest is history. Yeah, that why is what drives you every day. That's what wakes you up. Just like the same why you wake up every morning for your job, it's gonna be the same why you're gonna turn up here, right? So,
Mm,
guys, if you have get any value from this live from Richard, it's late at night in the UK. I think it's already morning there, maybe. Maybe it's already 1 a.m. What time is it
yeah.
there?
We're on the outskirts of London right now. It's almost 2 a.m. in the
Wow,
morning.
2 a.m., guys. 2 a.m. Thank you, Richard, for giving us the time. I know it's been a long time we're trying to have this meeting, but guys, give us some comment in the comment section. What did you find valuable about this live? Again, follow Richard in his YouTube channel for his podcast. You're gonna learn about valuable things from different entrepreneurs and different people that have different special skills. I think Richard will put the YouTube somewhere in the comment. So anything else that you want to tell us, Richard, before we end the live?
I want to thank you for the bringing me on this platform and allowing me to yeah, share my insights. I think you're one heck of a woman, and what you're doing, not only for as a woman in business, as a mother, as someone who's representing, who's looking up for inspiration and thinking, all right, I don't have to do that, or I can do this and be successful. Just the
Mhm,
way that you choose to represent
mhm.
and your branding and your leadership. Yeah. Yeah. As a woman, I respect it. As a business owner, I respect you. And yeah, just thank you for what you're doing and who you're becoming.
Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you, guys, and hope you guys enjoy this. Happy Thursday. Bye.